Okay, let's go ahead and get started, Jen. So, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Dunnick, the Director of Investor Relations and Events at United Way of Southeast Louisiana. And this is Jen Kelly, the Executive Director of Louisiana Hospitality Foundation.
Good morning.
This morning, we are going to share with you some of our resources for owners and managers. So let's dig in. So the Hospitality Cares program relaunched in a partnership with LHF, and we created a new structure. It was a new leadership team. So what you may know as Hospitality Cares has changed and has been updated since 2017. This program originated out of offering emergency crisis grants to employees who run workplace campaigns uh, through United Way of Southeast Louisiana. So these grants can be up to $2,500 for things like housing, medical, and utilities. And for every dollar, 50 cents goes towards the emergency grants, and then 50 cents goes towards the United Way campaigns and or the campaign and the other resources. So we're going to share these other resources with you so you can share them with your employees. So we have Via Link 211, FamilyWise, IDA, My Free Taxes, and VITA. We're going to dig into each one very quickly. So Via Link is a 24/7, 365 hotline. You just call 211 and you can ask for referrals. So this could be referrals for emergency shelter, like you said, childcare, domestic violence, you need counseling. It is a live person on the other line, and they're able to give you a list of resources. I highly recommend if you have an employee, you can also call and ask and get the resources for them if you'd like. In addition to Via Link, we also have FamilyWise, which is a prescription savings card. It's you can use it at any of the major pharmacies. And sometimes it actually is, well, if you have insurance, it'll actually come in less than your insurance rate. There's no registration. You can share your card with anyone, and it also has an app, which is great. I really love the app because you can actually see how much the prescription is going to cost at each pharmacy around you. In addition to those, we have the IDA project, which is the Individual Development Account Project. It is it's a 4-to-1 match. So you first have to qualify through some program requirements, and then you go ahead and take some financial literacy classes, and then you are eligible for the 4-to-1 match. So this is for small businesses, to buy your first home, to go back to school, or to purchase a vehicle. So in this section, you can see if you save $1,500 at a local bank, then you can actually be matched with $6,000, which is pretty amazing. If you're saving up for your car, if you save $1,000, we will give you $4,000. So all of these grants are actually through a different project, like through a grant that we receive. So we then turn around and offer it to residents of our 7 parishes. So if you're interested or you have somebody that's interested, please call this number at the bottom and you can get more information. Okay, so it's tax season. So we have 2 resources for you. The first is My Free Taxes. So if you made or less than $66,000 in 2020, which probably most most people in hospitality did, you can use this online platform for free. It's similar to like QuickBooks or something like that. And if you made under $56,000, you can actually qualify for the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which is pretty great. If you just fill out some paperwork and then you drop all your papers off at an office or one of the other participants, then you can actually go pick it up. They'll call you. You go pick it up in 3 or 4 days, depending on how many people they're processing, and your taxes are filed. So it's a pretty great program. And also, if you are any person with a disability, elderly, or if you have or if you're limited English speaking, you can also qualify for this program. So back to hospitality worker crisis grant program. Again, I mentioned this at the top of the seminar, and this is the backbone of our program. Now, Jen's going to go into more detail on other things that we've done, but we really want to bring attention to this as anybody that runs a campaign or makes a corporate gift of over $500 will be eligible for this. And it doesn't have to be that specific person. As you can see here, it can be a death of an immediate family member for funeral costs or something like that. These grants you apply through the Louisiana Hospitality Foundation, and Jen does all the vetting and approves everybody, and if approved, and then she takes it from there. Jen, do you want to say anything else about this?
Yeah, this is a program that is the priority work of the Hospitality Foundation, and we're grateful to partner with United Way in the New Orleans area on having additional financial resources to support those hospitality workers in need. The only thing I wanted to add, Michelle, is just this last bullet point. We do have eligibility criteria for who can qualify for this funding. And unfortunately, if somebody's solely dealing with a hardship because of pandemic-related business closings or fewer hours on their schedule and things like that, that's not considered an emergency. Just like the first bullet point says, an unexpected illness, an auto accident, an injury, a death in the family, those are qualifying emergencies. So just wanted to point out that a pandemic-related financial issue because of employment is not considered a qualifying emergency for this funding.
Thanks. So I completely understand, and everybody would be applying, so we wouldn't be able to really assist everyone. But I guess let's jump into the next phase, because this is one place that we did help people.
Yes, so this partnership is many years old now, and last year when pandemic hit our community, we were poised to immediately move into action to provide some response for how COVID was impacting our workers. So when everything shut down, we immediately started fundraising for a specific money to help pandemic response. And this screen shows where we raised $2.4 million collectively that helped exclusively hospitality workers in the 7 parish area of New Orleans. These are some of the funders, corporate funds, grant funds. We had individual gifts. It was an outstanding and heartwarming time to have that kind of support for our hospitality workers. You can go to the next slide. As I mentioned, we raised $2.4 million, and the way that was distributed was each eligible application was awarded a $500 one-time micro grant. So we distributed over 4,800 $500 checks. And this slide shows the breakdown. You can see that 47% of approved applications were from restaurants in our metro area. You can go to the next slide. Oh, and we'll just, you will receive these slides after the presentation, but this is just listing out all of those restaurant-specific businesses, and it shows the number of grants that were approved and what that dollar amount was, which was well over $1 million. So for restaurants specifically in the 7 parish area, we were able to distribute 2,192 grants for restaurant workers, representing $1,096,000 in impact. And these individuals received $500 checks, as I mentioned, and that was to help with basic living expenses when we just didn't know things would open up. We were all in that unknown phase. It was very scary, and we were so excited to be able to provide some assistance to our hospitality workers. In addition to the cash grants, Michelle, you must go to the next slide. In addition to the cash grants, oh, there we go. We also were able to compile a bunch of resources. So this, like I said, you'll be getting this later. We've built this website out so that all of the resources that we've invested in to support our hospitality workers are in one place. And this lives on the United Way website. You can go to the next slide, Michelle. And one more. So after we gave out that $2.4 million, we continued to speak with the owners and managers of hospitality businesses in our community and ask them, what else do you see your employees need? What can you predict over the next 3 to 6 months your employees are going to be struggling with? And that informal survey told us that we were going to be in need of mental health access and legal assistance. And the mental health access is just an example of a need for healthcare in general in our community. And then the legal aid, that was also tied in with the concern of potential evictions. This is a very large renting community. There were a lot of months where people were just unable to make payments, and were just, the employers were really concerned about the housing stability of their employees. So with those concerns, we said, all right, let's find potential partners to help connect. Can you go back one, Michelle? So we put together a partnership with Loyola's Center for Counseling and Education, where our hospitality workers can be referred to them for mental health counseling. They do individual therapy, they do group therapy, they also do other arrangements, family and couples therapy. They will not turn away a hospitality worker, and they have sessions for as low as $10 a session. So you'll be provided the information on how to engage with Loyola, but we do recommend it's a phone call. And then for the legal services, we've partnered with Southeast Louisiana Legal Services. They're an amazing nonprofit that represents the entire Southeast Louisiana region. And they provide direct one-on-one civil legal aid. So if someone is concerned about eviction, if they have maybe some family law issues that they need assistance with, they can apply to Southeast Louisiana Legal Services to see if they meet their eligibility for the free legal aid. And for anyone that doesn't meet the requirements for free legal aid, they've offered for the next many months, I believe through summer, to conduct these webinars that are called Know Your Rights. So we have professional lawyers who are donating their time once a month to do a free webinar that's focused on topics that are top of mind for our hospitality workers. We started this a couple of months ago, and the monthly webinars include topics such as unemployment insurance and trying to understand that. How does that turn into a tax complication? Do you have to pay taxes on stimulus money? Do you have to pay taxes on unemployment insurance income? So some of those questions are being answered for free on these monthly webinars. And if for any reason you can't attend one, we're recording all of them and keeping them on that website that we showed you prior. So we'll give you the link for our Hospitality Cares resources where the recordings of all these webinars live. This information is gold. I had no idea how complicated the unemployment insurance program was until they presented it. And they present in such a user-friendly format. We also worked with local partners, Creole Cuisine Restaurant Concepts, and provided hundreds and hundreds of free meals, hot meals, and grocery bags for hospitality workers throughout the fall months in September, October, November. And we also set up an awesome day at the Riverwalk where hospitality workers were able to sign up in advance and get a professional headshot, a photo for their potential career advancement at no charge. So we've really enjoyed putting together partnerships to bring additional resources for our hospitality workers in the community. At this time, I just wanted to remind people that there are ways that you can get involved as a business if you're interested. obviously we need funding to be able to continue to offer these resources in the community. So if you or your company are interested, the different ways to support, corporate gifts is a way that a business can make a donation. A workplace campaign is a traditional United Way campaign where we can come into your business, talk to the staff, maybe for stability purposes at this time, we just talk to maybe salary and management employees, since hourly employees might not be getting the hours that they actually need. But there's no commitment that's too small. A workplace campaign might include a commitment of an employee saying, I'll give $1 a paycheck. That would be amazing. Other ways that you can get involved are point of sale promotions where you can engage your customers. There's many retail opportunities that we could discuss and get creative, but an example here is like at your POS, you can ask the customer, would they like to round up to the next dollar? And then that extra gap in funds goes to the charity. And then we are excited that we are in the Lenten season, and for 2 years in a row now are producing Fish Fry Fridays, which is a way that restaurants are giving back to this Hospitality Cares program. We have almost 50 restaurants signed up where for every Friday during Lent, they have a featured dish, and every one that they sell, they give $1 to the Hospitality Cares program. So these are different ways that our restaurant community are supporting the Hospitality Cares work in the community. You can go to the next slide. There we go. So this is a testimonial for someone who received a crisis grant from the Hospitality Foundation. And this is, again, when we were talking about a cash resource where someone can apply for financial assistance. This gentleman is a New Orleans restaurant employee, and he was the unfortunate victim of a house fire. I won't read the whole thing to you, but he wrote this in his own words. Losing your home and belongings in a house fire is something you always see in the news, but you never think it could happen to you. It's unfortunate that maybe, you have an employee who's working a shift on a Saturday night, gets a text or a phone call saying, hey man, the apartment complex is on fire. Everything you have is in there except for what's on your back, or maybe in a bag in the break room or something. So it can be very devastating. And this is one way that the Hospitality Foundation, in partnership with United Way, can support our hospitality workers when they have an emergency outside of their control. This gentleman particularly received a housing assistance grant to help him with first month's rent and deposit and getting into a new place. So to recap the resources that we've presented today, we have, as I mentioned, the Crisis Grant Program is a cash resource where it's a financial assistance program. And then the other ones here on the screen are non-cash resources. So we have VLink 211, which is the phone line that you can call to get referrals to other social programs and nonprofits within the community. And you do get a real person when you call 211. FamilyWise is the prescription card that provides discounts, and it has the awesome app where you can price shop before you go and fill a prescription. IDA is the matching savings program that comes with financial literacy classes, which is just amazing. There are no other programs like it in our community. There is some eligibility requirement, but I highly recommend that if you have someone who's interested in saving for a home or saving for a vehicle, that they look into the eligibility for that program, because the matching is 4-to-1. It's amazing. VITA and My Free Taxes, numbers 4 and 5 on your screen. Those are the two tax filing programs, and we're here. It's February, it's tax filing season. So we highly recommend that employees avoid using their own money to pay someone to file their income taxes and prepare that when they have these free programs. They can save that money for other expenses such as medicine, gas, childcare, etc. The free legal assistance is from Southeast Louisiana Legal Services, where an employee can potentially receive one-on-one support with an attorney focusing on hospitality workers, or the Know Your Rights webinars that we're producing monthly. And then we have the low-cost counseling through Loyola's Center for Education, and our food distributions. We don't have one scheduled at this time to promote, but when we have the next one scheduled, it will be added to the Hospitality Cares resources page. So this really sums up what we were hoping to present to you as a manager or owner of a restaurant, so that you know about these resources that are available for your staff. The links here on the screen are what we call the call to action, where you can go to get this information and share it with your employees. The first one is our events link. So that will have the webinars, that'll have the food distributions. Then we have the resources, which is the big laundry list of all the links and phone numbers to the different programs that we presented today. And then lastly, if someone needs to apply for a crisis grant, that application lives on the Hospitality Foundation website at this link. So Michelle and I are so grateful for your attendance today. We're hoping that this information can expand through your organization. We are available to do these presentations to specifically your company instead of something that's more public like today. And we can do it COVID safe in person, or we can do it digitally. You just let us know how we can support the needs of your workplace.
Great. Well, thank you. And again, as Jen said at the beginning, we will get all of our attendees the slide deck and the recording. So the recording will be posted on our resources page probably tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.